Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So in today's video I've got a box of goodies here from Lottie London. This isn't technically a full face of Lottie London because a lot of the products weren't in stock when I went online to buy these. So I don't have concealer, bronzer or brows, but everything else is going to be from Lottie London. I have 3 blush options, one of them being black. A black blush. Very excited to get into that, very excited to get into this brand. I've never tried anything from them before, so this is my first impression. I'm going to be trying everything on, giving you a review, my first impression of the brand and all the products that I've got today. If you are new here, hello, my name is Millie. I post videos just like this 3 times a week on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Friday. I'm also trying my hand at Reels recently and YouTube Shorts. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing on these long form videos either, but I'm trying my best. I'm giving you my opinion on all of the new makeup products. So if that's the sort of thing that you're into, I would love it if you would subscribe down below. But let's just get into this box of goodies, shall we? Because I'm very, very excited. First up, I have the Velvet Skin Tint foundation. This says on the front that it's light to medium coverage, which is my favourite kind of foundation. I have this in the shade Fair N010, so we'll see how this looks. They didn't have every single shade in stock, so I just had to eyeball it as I always do. Oh goodness, okay, very, very liquidy. I maybe shook that a little too hard. I'm just going to try and like clean it up and get all of that product off. Oh, it's quite light, isn't it? Hopefully that light coverage will play into my favour here. Okay, so I think I have that all cleaned up now, using my sponge to try and wipe it off. It's all like in the cap as well. That's a little bit worrying, but maybe I just shook it a little bit too hard. So I'm going to use a sponge to try and blend this out. And it does say that it's medium, like light to medium coverage, which I do enjoy, but let's see how this colour goes, like blended out, because it's looking quite pale. Okay, so that first light layer, it is quite pale, but I do feel like it matches my neck quite nicely. It's a really nice undertone. I struggle quite a lot with the undertone of foundations because I am actually quite yellow toned, but I feel like that looks really, really nice. It looks like literally nothing on the skin, which is beautiful, but it's just like knocking back the redness a tiny, tiny little bit. I really, really like that. I am, however, just going to see, just for science, I'm just going to see if it's buildable. It's a very, very watery texture, which feels really, really nice and like hydrating on the skin, but it's leaving like a velvety matte sort of finish, which is my favourite, especially at this time of year. It's really nice to have more of a matte finish. I find it's just a little bit more long lasting. Even though I have dry skin, I do get sweaty, I do get oily throughout the day, so I do like having more of a matte finish on an everyday basis, because something like this you can put over the top of something like your e.l.f. Halo Glow to make it glowy if that's what you want, but this is just gonna stay so well throughout the day. So I would definitely say that it's building up. I do feel like there is a tiny little bit more coverage there now. I would still only say that this is a light coverage. You know, I can still see my freckles if I had any spots. I don't think I have any at the minute. If I had any, I'm sure I would still be able to see them, but I really, really like that foundation. That's such a beautiful, soft finish, and it looks and feels like nothing on the skin. Like I say, I can still see every single one of my freckles, but the redness is just gone, which is what I love. So like I say, I don't have concealer, bronzer or brows, so I'm going to just go off and do those, and then I can focus on all of the goodies from Lottie London in here. So for those products, I'm using the Essence Skin Loving Sensitive Concealer, the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer, and the 17 Full Definition Brow Pencil. So I'll go do these 3 steps and then I will be back to do the rest of the face. Okay, so that is all of those base products done, and now I can just focus on the Lottie London stuff. So like I say, I've got 3 options for blush. 3 blushes and no bronzer, which just explains the sort of person that I am in one sentence. So the 3 options are the black blush, that I'm a little bit terrified of but will test either way. Then I got the Cheeky Kiss Cream Lipstick and Blush Stick. This is in the shade Swipe Right, and this, ooh, it like clicks up. We'll get there in the end. That is what that colour looks like. It's almost like a mauvey sort of lilac-y shade that I think would be beautiful on the cheeks, as well as of course on the lips, but I am going to save that one today. I'm going to save it just for the lips. I will try it on the cheeks at some point. And then this is a new release from them, and what's this meant to be a dupe for, I hear you say? This is the Cheeky Glow Liquid Highlighter Wand, but this is in the shade Peach Bellini, which is definitely on my very, very white, fair skin tone going to be a blush. So I think what we should do is, do we try the black blush and then put this over the top of it? I mean, we can only try. I have nowhere to be today, so happy to look like a clown with 5 million layers of blush on my face today. So this is actually like a pH changing blush. I'm going to go in with a clean brush here, dip into the black blush. So it's still coming off black on the brush. I'm scared. I am. Right, and I'll just use the other side to blend it out. Okay, it's going pink. We're okay. Ooh, that is a pretty pink as well. I got way too much on my brush, but yes, that is a nice colour. And because it's like a creamy, balmy sort of texture, that looks really nice and like hydrating on the skin as well. I definitely got too much on the brush. It almost goes on purpley and then it like settles into the skin as a beautiful bright pink. I definitely think I did the right thing using a brush, and I will just look close up in a mirror to see if it's bothering that foundation at all. I don't think it is. It does seem to be like setting down a little bit the more I like work over it with the brush. But I definitely got too much on my brush on that side. I'm just going to tap over with the sponge because that was a lot more pigmented than I was expecting it to be. A lot brighter because I'm going over the top with that other blush as well. Because I've got options, I don't want it to be too much. But that surprised me. Black blush, who would have thought it? So I'm going to use the Cheeky Glow Liquid Blush Highlighter Wand thing, and I will say, if I can get the lid off, this has one of the like twisty stopper things, so unlike the collection and the e.l.f. ones, you can actually lock this so it's not going to go like everywhere in your makeup bag. But let's see what this colour looks like. So that's what it looks like coming out of the top of the tube. It does look less blushy than the collection ones that I absolutely love. The collection one in Peach Pleasure is definitely more pink than this. I would say that this is more of a blush highlighter like crossover sort of a product. It's very juicy looking, it's very highlightery, whereas the collection ones and the e.l.f. ones feel more like a blush with highlights in. This feels more like a highlight with blush in, if that makes sense. So I'm going to apply this and keep it a little bit higher so that it works more in that sort of way where it's more of a glow that just happens to be a little bit pink rather than a blush that happens to have that glow in it. I really hope that that makes sense and I'm not just waffling as usual. And I'm going to use the clean side of my sponge to blend this out. Okay, you have to work quite quickly because that is setting a little bit. Yeah, this definitely feels more glowy than the collection ones. So, for me, who has both, I feel like these play a different role in my makeup routine. This is definitely more of a highlight that just happens to be pink that I could put over the top of a lot of my blushes, whereas the other ones feel like a standalone blush. This feels more like a standalone highlight, if that makes sense. I really like the colour of it though. It's really glowy, like it's catching the light so beautifully. I really like it. It's a beautiful undertone. It's definitely blinding, but also like it just looks like my skin. I don't feel like from the front when it's not catching the light, apart from this area here that I haven't blended very well, I don't feel like it's too pigmented where looking straight on it's like, why has that girl got blush on the top of her cheeks in a strange way? Like it does just look like right, you know, it doesn't look like it's out of place. I'm going to just use that same brush and try and go over the top of that just to help blend it in a little bit more. I do like going over the top of my highlight with more blush, so we'll see how that goes. It's not bothering that foundation either, or the bronzer that I put on, which I definitely need a little bit more now I've got that blush on, but it's not bothering the products underneath it. I really like those. I'm just going to put a little bit more of that e.l.f. bronzer on. I'm also just going to put a little bit of that e.l.f. bronzer like through the crease because the eyeshadow that I got is a liquid one, so I just want a little something through there before I put that on, just to warm up the eyes a little bit. I do like to add bronzer through the crease first, so just working that in with a big fluffy brush. And then this is the eyeshadow that I've got, and I'm so excited about this because we all know I am a magpie, and if it's shiny and if it's glittery, I want it immediately. So of course I had to pick up an eye foil. This is the metallic eyeshadow topper, and this is in the shade Too Much, and look at that shade. I'm so excited to swatch this. I haven't even opened it. I don't even know what the applicator looks like at this stage, so let's just get into it. Okay, so it's just like a sort of like a lip gloss sort of an applicator, very standard sort of doe foot sort of applicatory thing. Let's see. Oh my goodness, that colour. Oh wow, that's like lilac when it catches the light, but then like a very neutrally sort of brown when it doesn't catch the light. That is such a beautiful shade and so glittery. Oh my goodness, the aliens are going to be calling me home when I got this on. Wowzers. So I've got that bronzer through the crease. I've got my dense brush here to blend this out. I'm going to do one side at a time. I'm just going to tap a little bit of this onto the lid and see how it blends out. Of course I want a lot of this, but I want to see if it's buildable or if you just have to go in with like a lot in the first swipe. Okay, that is blending out so nicely. Let me zoom you in so that you can actually see what I'm doing. How about that? So I feel like the colour is quite subtle, like it doesn't look like I've got like a lilac on my eyes, but the glitter is so easily blended. It looks subtle at this stage, which of course is fine. It's not what I want, but it's fine. So I will see on that first eye, is that set? Yeah, that's like pretty much set down. I will see if it's buildable. I was about to say blendable. It is blendable. We know that already. I'm going to see if I can just build it up a little bit more on the lid. See if just applying a tiny bit more and trying to keep it a little bit closer onto the lid to see if that'll work. Okay, you can definitely build it up. Like, there's definitely more glitter across the lid now. I really, really like these, and they had so many different colours as well. This was the most like neutrally, which isn't normally my vibe, but I wanted something that I could just wear every single day and still be seen from outer space. So I'm gonna just do the other side, you know, to make myself at least a little bit equal, somewhat equal. Okay, so I just tried to like clean up the outer corner, not that there was any fallout, but I just blended it like very, very roughly, and it sort of went a little bit further out than what I was wanting it to. I tried to clean it up with a little bit of micellar water on a cotton pad, and then obviously I had to like go over and reapply all of the products that I had on, like in this sort of an area. And now all of this area, sort of here, all of this is glittery, which wasn't necessarily the vibe I was going for, but I would say if you are wanting to use one of these, apply it, blend it, and then just leave it, but blend it like exactly where you want it to be, because it's stuck. It is still like stuck. I don't feel like this would crease. It is very much set, but I blended it where I didn't necessarily want it, and then the clean up has just left me in a whole mess. So I'm ignoring that. Please do the same. This is the Lottie London Wing Woman liquid eyeliner, and I got this in the brown shade because I feel like I've found my favourites for a black winged sort of an eyeliner, and I want brown. I am searching for a brown liquid liner, so I'm going to go and try and do a wing with this. This has like a felt tip sort of an applicator. It looks like a really nice sort of warm brown, so let's see how this goes. I feel like I've just ruined it with all of that glitter, which is something I bet you never thought that you would hear me say, but let's see how this goes. Okay, it's drawing over the top of that glitter really nicely. It is picking up the glitter on the applicator quite a bit. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but it is picking up some of the glitter on there, which is fine. It's neither here nor there, but I am going to have to like waste a little bit of the product like cleaning that off once I'm done with it. Obviously there's no point in me doing that now because I have the other eye to do, but it's a nice colour. It's a nice alternative to a black. It's very dark, so like from a distance it probably does just look black, but I know that it's brown. I know that it's just a little bit different. I like it. Okay, sisters, not twins, but also they are a lot more dramatic than what I was expecting them to be. We're not going to look too closely. First impressions, I like it. It's very dark. It was very easy to use. It's just maybe not the day for me concentrating on winged eyeliner. It's one of them where I could have carried on going and going and going and going, and suddenly my whole face is covered in liquid liner, but I'm leaving it at that. It's not my finest work. I will report back as to what I think about the liquid liner in a few days, but I'm going to move on. I'm going to forget that they're there. I'm going to move on to mascara. This is the Lottie London Super Fake False Lash Effect Mascara. This has some claims. Over 90% saw thicker lashes, 90% saw a lengthening effect on their lashes, 85% saw a lifted wide awake look effect, 12-hour wear, high precision brush. Let's just see, shall we? Ooh, the brush has surprised me. That is tiny. That is like the tightest little brush. It barely even looks like it has bristles on it. That is not at all what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting, but it's not that. Let's see. I like a really thick, really volumized lash. I feel like that's the only thing that's going to save these wings. So let's just see what we can get with this. Okay, the formula is quite dry. It almost feels like the tube has been open for a week or two, you know that feeling? I don't usually expect that when I'm testing a mascara for the very, very first time. Usually it takes a little while to get to this stage. This is how I like my mascaras to be. That little bit drier, a little bit thicker, because then it like really adds a lot of volume. So I'm really like wiggling this through the lashes to try and get a lot of product on. But as for like one layer, I feel like that looks really, really nice. If this is buildable and if I can get this to like lay on top of itself nicely, this could be a new favourite mascara. And if it lasts well, of course. It has to last well. I'm just zooming in so that you can see the difference between one coat of mascara, which looks great, it looks natural, it looks glittery. Obviously I appreciate you can't see too much because I have that thick black liner underneath, sorry, brown liner underneath, but this side with 2 coats looks incredible. I feel like the teeny tininess of the wand means that I don't have that, like, you know how clumsy I am. I can't do my mascara without getting it like all over my lid, but I feel like because this wand is so tiny, I feel like I can really like wiggle it at the root of my lashes without getting it all over my eye. And this sort of wand is normally the sort of wand that I hate, where it's so like spiky and the bristles are so small that I can't like see it grabbing my lashes. But I feel like the volume on this side, where I've got 2 layers, I feel like that looks so nice. If this lasts well, this could be a new favourite. I really like it. Okay, so I'm going in with the Cheeky Kiss cream lipstick now, and this is in the shade Swipe Right, and this has the cutest little love heart applicator, and I feel like this will be so perfect for like doing your Cupid's bow. Anyone else feel that? Now I don't have a lip liner, so I'm just going to try this out. I think that there were like 3 shades of this. This is the one that I was like most drawn to, so let's see. I'm a little bit scared like of the shape of it. I know I shouldn't be scared of a lipstick, but here I am being scared of a lipstick. Okay, my theory didn't work. You can't just like, or I can't anyway because I'm not very good at makeup. I can't like just get my Cupid's bow to fit into that love heart shape. I'm finding it quite difficult to use actually because of the shape of this. I'll try and do the bottom lip. It's really nice and creamy. It feels really lovely and hydrating. I could see how this would work really well on the cheeks. Just saying. So yes, I feel like the shape of this is gimmicky. You can't like use that to your advantage on the lips. I feel like this is leaning more towards a sort of blurred lip look rather than something really precise, which is fine. I like a lip look like that where it's sort of a little bit more smudgy on the outside. Obviously if you had a lip liner then you could like neaten up the outside of the lips with it. It feels like a lip balm. Truly, it feels so lovely and hydrating. I can see how this would work really well under a powder blush. I can see how this colour would translate really nicely to the cheeks. It's just not the easiest thing to use. Like the shape of it isn't the easiest thing to use to be very precise. But I really like the colour. I love how it feels on the lips. If you're wanting it because you want this colour, then go for it. If you're wanting it because you think that the love heart will make application easier, I don't feel like that's the case. But this is my almost full face of Lottie London. And what have I tried today? The foundation. I feel like I've had this on for like an hour filming this whole look because it takes me forever. But I feel like this still looks really nice. It feels set, like it doesn't feel sticky, but it looks really nice and like soft on the skin. The blush I'm going to have to hold judgment on. I feel like the blush wand, this one, the Cheeky Glow, for me is more like a pink highlighter rather than a blush, but I do really like it. I feel like it's giving my skin a really nice glow. I feel like this is the sort of thing that I would maybe use under foundation because it is a lot, but the pink still comes through. Like when it catches the light, it does still look pink, so really like that. I'm going to have to hold judgment on this one, however, because I feel like there's a time and a place for a product like this. Is it every single day? I don't feel like it is, but I like the colour and I like how it feels. It does still feel a little tacky. I'm wondering how this would work on the lips. Is it safe to? Who knows? I will have to look that up. I do like the colour. I'm just not sure if this sort of a colour changing product is really essential. Like, you could have just made a blush that was this colour. Do you know what I mean? I'm holding judgment on it though. I will report back. The eyeshadow I thought was going to be a huge win, but I feel like the smudginess and it going absolutely everywhere is throwing me off a tiny little bit. I will also have to report back on the eyeliner and the mascara, because for me, I need to know if it's going to last. Like, that is the only way that I will love a liner and a mascara. If it doesn't smudge, doesn't crumble, like the colour lasts really well. I like the applicator. It was very easy to apply the liquid liner, but if this smudges, if this doesn't last, then it's an absolute no for me. Currently, if it lasts, I really like it. The colour's really nice. It's just a little bit softer than a black, which I really enjoy. And the mascara, currently, I would give this like a 9.5 out of 10. Yeah. If this smudges, that's going to be knocked down to like a 2. But I will report back. If you are new here, I do these first impressions throughout the month, and then at the end of the month, I come back and I give you my roundup of all the products that I've tested throughout the month. So if you want to hear my final thoughts on those, make sure you subscribe, and I will be giving you my final thoughts at the end of the month once I've had time to test them out a little bit more. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If there's any other brands that you want to see like full faces of, then do let me know down below, because I am always in the market for buying new makeup. In case you can't see, I like it a lot. It brings me a lot of joy. So if that's the sort of thing that you're into, I'd love it if you would subscribe. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Leave me a lovely little comment to read later on. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.